How's everybody doing? All right. As you can hear the whooshing. Here's how I got everything set up here. I have the Labyrinth. Chained to the Spectravox. Which are both chained to the Spectravox. I said Spectravox, but subharmonicon. So the Labyrinth is chained to the subharmonicon, clocked in, and then that is feeding off into the Spectravox. But to not lose the oomph of the Labyrinth, I also have the audio out chained into the carrier that is going alongside with the Hydrasynth Explorer. So the Hydrasynth Explorer and the Labyrinth are both feeding into the same cable. Why? Because I ran out of cables. And the only thing I had was this auxiliary splitter with the 8-inch. George. That does look great, huh? So, I have the MIDI from the Arturia Key Lab. Doesn't do much for me, but I wanted to use the Key Lab, so there you go. Whoa. So the only ones that are on their own here, the Hydrasynth. And I got the patches that I want. I have the signal hooked into here to get that West Coast action. I got to learn how to play by the dial so I could get that in. But that West Coast synthesis gets it really good. And I have the drum machine. This is the issue that I'm having here. I think this is a good patch, especially with it feeding into the analog. It's a great patch. And then the MiniFreak. Also a great patch. So the MiniFreak and the Hydrasynth are the only things that aren't tethered to anything. There's no reason to have them tethered to anything, especially because the lead here in Sonics is going to be this guy. Elusive passage. Welcome. The irony about this is that most of this shit isn't even mine. Well, not most of it. Like, this is pretty much my mom's future here going into retirement. So here's the deal. Early Christmas present for us over here is this Hydrasynth Explorer. Why? Because mom's had to have this one. So she said, I'm going to send it to you. She didn't say it like that. I'm paraphrasing. She said, I'm going to send it to you. You could have the Hydrasynth Explorer, but when I come by for Christmas, which is a couple weeks early, I'm going to take it with me. And you can play around with it, compare it for the channel, whatever, fine. So she'll be here on Friday to come get it. And these Moog boxes also belong to her. She just got the Spectravox over here and has been waiting for it to come back in stock for a while. And that's how she ended up on the Hydrasynth Explorer, because she wasn't eyeballing the Hydrasynth Explorer until I showed it to her. She was like, oh, that looks good. So instead of spending $600 on another Moog box, because our options are the DFAM and the Mother 32, you know, having the sequencer in here and it being, you know, new to her or whatever, she doesn't really need it, isn't really considerate of drums and percussion and stuff like that. So not really thinking, you know, as far as that goes. So she decided instead of getting another box, she's good with her 3, and she'll just get this instead. But then Black Friday came around and said, hey, Hydrasynths are $200 off. And it's an immense difference between these two, between the Explorer and the keyboard here. I surmise there is a different sound to it. Just slightly in the sonics, there is a slight difference. And I think a lot of that may have to do with the way that the keys are played and the way that the key bed is. So, I may keep the Spectravox around for a little while, because the Spectravox paired with the MiniFreak and even paired with the Hydrasynth is good. I just need to develop my patches in the Hydrasynth. And the one thing that's great about this is the fact that now that this is mine, I could actually develop the patches in here. I don't have to worry about not touching it. But we're not going to do that right now because I'm enjoying these keys. And other than this hardware jam here, which we're almost done, and it's just a matter of figuring out what we're going to do drum-wise. Now, the disadvantage here that we have is that the T6 doesn't have a clock output or input. So I can't tether it to keep the same time. I have to gauge the timing myself on the fly, which is doable, but, you know. Said I need that 49. Yeah, you know, I'm not a fan of the smaller keys. I said it before, like, I can't stand playing on mini keys. The MiniFreak has opened me up to that a little bit, but even this hitting the sharps, you know, it's just it's pretty sharp. You know, these black keys are pretty sharp over here. They're not as smooth as the Explorer for sure. So when you get outside and start playing for like more than an hour, it starts hurting your fingertips. So if you go several days of playing this, you know, going through it, because you play the MiniFreak like a rock and roll instrument pretty much, you know, it's easy to build up calluses. Uncle Crow. What is good? Yeah, the 49 key and the desktop look pretty together. Yeah, it's funny because the first thing that came to mind when exploring this one, the Explorer, the first thing that came to mind was tethering it to another Hydrasynth because the latch feature is so good because it gets you in a position to use both of your hands and get old knobby twisty on them and, you know, really go to town. So it works great. I'm just trying to give you guys a better view over here. You know, doing it this way is a cooler view, but it also takes away the Explorer. So I'm trying to get everything top down. Doesn't work. It looks ugly. So this is my alternative here. You know, sights look cool, but the sounds are what we're looking for. I should not be putting that there. It's irresponsible. All right, let me get to these other comments over here. And my bad on not streaming during the day. This weekend we missed Saturday, and if you guys saw my post in the community tab, it's because we were, for those who didn't see it, on the Symptoms of Reality podcast, and they were going for 4.5 hours, and it was great. We had a nice little jam with Robbie and Kent from the Pro Synth Network. It was me, Kent, Robbie, and the Symptoms of Reality guys, Trusto and Mozart, and yeah, they with the whole stream not being able to hear myself, and then I finally figured out what the issue was and worked it out right when it was time to jam. Davey, the Hook Monster. Now I can read the comments up close. My bad. Someone on YouTube has 4 in his setup. Yeah, you know, our friend Trader to the Living has 3. He has the classic, the same setup that Synthetic has, the Subharmonicon, the DFAM, and the Mother 32, which even Sam was saying something on how that's the most common pairing of the 3. This is kind of a new pairing because, you know, to be honest with you, the Labyrinth really hasn't seen that much shine. It got a whole lot of play when it came out for the rollout, and it was just a lot of people that were gunning for the Muse that were trying to shine it on and gave it a little gas. So other than me, I don't know who else is doing real content on the Labyrinth. I've seen a couple people use it, but you know, it's a good thing. It's pretty unpredictable, but you know, it's cool. It's cool to dial in. So, just getting this last swig of coffee here. Isomatic. What is good, my friend? How's your track coming along? Last time I heard it, it was coming along pretty well. Okay. So I got the patch I want in the MiniFreak. I got the patch that I want in the Hydrasynth Explorer. I got the patch that I want in the Hydrasynth keyboard. I got the settings how I want in the Spectravox for it to come out for the filters or whatever. I dial that in, whatever. It's all good. The main thing here is the Labyrinth and the Spectravox. And they're also feeding in, or the Labyrinth and the Subharmonicon, because they're also feeding into the Spectravox. So in order to get a proper reading on a patch for the Labyrinth, I have to also dial in the Spectravox to make sure that it comes out clean. Not that big of a deal, but Furmaster 212. Welcome. So crazy how difficult the labyrinth is to tame and find something. Like, you throw it out of whack. Find which one that is. See, it kind of goes everywhere when you dial it in, so... And no matter what I do on the labyrinth, it'll match this when I hit the Spectravox. It's just that jumpy bass doesn't sound good, so I gotta... I could get all lasery on it. Now, I could get the patches that they have on the recommended and just try to fix something with the preset or whatever, or I could just take the long way and figure it out myself, which is what I prefer. That's my preferred method. Here goes. Ready for it? the labyrinth. That's the only thing I really need to figure out, because I'm good on everything else, really. Like, these patches are good. Like, I'm good with everything I have selected here. It's just this little beast, this little beastie of a Moog box. I already lost it. Whatever it was I had, I lost it. All right, let's try in here. Since they're tethered in together. I could deal with that. Filter sheets in here with that. So I already know what I'm going to do for playable. Goes perfect with this patch. Now, let's say I pick everything I want. Let's say we pick absolutely everything. What are we going to do then? This. dial it in here, it'll work forever. work for what I need to do. Now, let's test the theory. See if I can get it on the right time. can't believe I dialed that in so quickly. I know it took some time, but not very much. See, kind of falling out of whack, it seems. I got it. Just dial in a Hydrasynth real quick. Take it from the beginning. Start doing gigs again, played drum and bass for a living for years. All I do mostly electronic music, haven't figured out how to translate it to live music. That's an interesting one. Here, let me show my stupid face. Let's see where we go. Say, hey guys, how's it going? I'm up here. Yeah, that is it's a tricky one, I guess. But a lot do it. Well, a lot of us anyway, as far as like musicians go, and I guess it depends on what region you're in and where you're located. You know, not that I'm the one to be doling out advice here. But yeah, I mean, local community is the only way to go, depending on where you live. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing here with some of the stuff here locally, as far as connecting to the crowd and stuff, because I'm kind of in the same boat when it comes to performing, not when it comes to instrumentation and everything like that, but when it comes to performance, because I used to perform like crazy, you know, and then COVID happened. It changed the game of performance, and once that was all said and done, the game has changed completely, you know, as far as ticket sales and all that other stuff goes, and you know, it's just getting worse. um, and venues are booking less shows. So if you don't have a crowd to bring to the venue, they're not gonna deal with you because they'll reserve their spot for just a far and few between. But depending on where you're at, like I'm learning about some of the locals here, but most of them are across the bridge over there, and I'm trying to get people that live here, because most of our um, what do you call it? I wouldn't say music. Well, most of our arts and music, when it comes to the city of Vancouver, Washington, is imported from Portland, which is all said and good, but they're Portland based artists who were born and raised in Oregon. So, it's okay to have transplants. There's nothing wrong with having transplants. I mean, we're transplants here from Phoenix, but we've been here for, nearly a decade now. So it's just one of those things that, they have a specific type of demographic in mind for this place, which is one of the reasons why it's so expensive. But one of the ways that they are flourishing is because they deal with the homeless population by creating shelters and stuff like that. So even though it's increasing, they've been taking care of it for the most part. Um, and it's difficult because there's technically no middle class here. You know, you're either well to do and can make it here, or you're struggling to live. And the struggling here isn't struggling in Phoenix. I know things have changed and everything, and it's down there. It's a little bit more. It's lot less economically viable to get living down there, and it's kind of comparable to what it is here. But I digress. My point is here is that um, I'm kind of trying to do a similar thing and trying to locate my local community here. Um, but it's difficult. It really is to try to start new because I used to perform on a regular basis as well, and I stopped in 2010. Took care of my dad, and then did the production thing in this just home studio, and that's all I did. Now all these years later, I got music to get out there and go perform as an artist, and it's like it's one thing to do it and develop locally or whatever, but it's another thing to get yourself out there and do a show and be the booking agent and the promoter and all that. You wear all these other hats, and unfortunately in this business and the way that things work in the music industry, traditionally you have to do things on your own if you're going to make it anywhere. If you're not doing things on your own and you have a label supporting you, then all your money goes towards that. So it's a fine line, but the differences between the two of those as well is that the even though the other acts are getting more bookings, they're also getting less people showing up to their shows. So the only way to break through that is to get your own people to go to the show, and it's easier said than done. Um, but yeah, locally it just depends. It's a rough one though. I definitely hear New England pre-COVID. I was getting paid well to do music, and around here solo acoustic acts get paid well, and I used to do it, but I'm not interested in singing and guitar anymore. Well, yeah, and that's kind of similar to up here. Like we went to the Arts and Music Festival, and the music was, I mean, fine, whatever. We have a symphony orchestra here, which is their claim to fame, but most of them are Portland residents. Thumbs up. Yeah, there you go. Um, yeah, it's rough the way that venues handle music, and especially like electronic music. And like there is no electronic music at the music festival. There was no music at the music festival, really. There were a couple traditional acts or whatever, but the main stage was typically empty. There was that one band that we did and showed around here, but yeah. Maybe back north. Back from Houston. Connecticut was rarely successful. Yeah, that's a rough region. My family's from that area, but 1638 when Rhode Island first became a state from that area. So like they're all up in that area. I don't know what the performance level is like. I know a few artists that come out of like Providence and stuff. And I actually performed at Connecticut. I think it was Hartford. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, Connecticut was pretty cool to perform at. Yeah, it was really cool to perform at. It was a good stage. But yeah, if I would have known what I know now about my history and everything like that, I would have explored things further. Yeah, I think we got all of our patches dialed in. All right. Doing everything pretty much in the box, Bitwig and Reaper now. Yeah, don't know how long. So gotcha. Okay. So so that's what you mean more about transferring in the box working to a performance based type of thing. Um it's not impossible. I see people do it. They bring their laptops. Usually the DJs use their laptops for Serato, and it's just like an appendage or whatever. Like it's a part of the extension of the turntables as a way to feed yourself records, so you don't have to drudge all your records around. But for doing electronic music, it's difficult to do that coming out and in a box. I mean, the best way that I could say as a way to perform and, it would be to just bounce the songs as is and then get a DJ controller and then DJ your bounces, and then that could be your piece of equipment to mix. So you're really working in the box, but you're performing with a piece of thing, so you don't have to bring a laptop out there and do all kinds of stuff, and it gets you, you would have to learn a controller or whatever to get that. Something cool to shine it on, for a performance, but, I don't know how much of that you want to be doing either, but there are things out there, I just started getting in on hardware jams and doing a lot of this just because, as you could tell, I do it all for fun anyway, but I also do it for business and make like real songs with it. So it's like, the performance thing and doing this much jamming wasn't really in my forte because like, we were doing other things and mixing records and going out there and performing and everything. Jamming wasn't really the move. But I got a video that I'm working on, and I know I keep saying this about things, but I've bumped this to the first priority video just because of the way that things have gone over the weekend, because they had all the Inky jams. And for those who don't know, Inky the Cat passed away, a couple months ago. And yeah, she had not only did she have a send-off, memorial in the beginning or whatever, but she had a proper send-off, and all weekend everybody at Hardware Jams and, people that knew her or whatever put down, 15-minute sets apiece and just have been jamming all weekend long. And that's on top of everything else that's been going on. Like we jammed out with the Pro Synth Network, on the Symptoms of Reality podcast, and it was great, and that's when all the Inky jams were going on. So I'm prioritizing this video because I think it's about time that I do it. I've already been working on it on a small scale, and it's the reason why I love this community so much, because there are a lot of YouTubers and people here alike. I don't know why it does a thumbs up. If I do two thumbs up, it does something else. It gives me fireworks. And then if I do peace signs, it gives me the things. If I do devil horns, it gives me these. What about two? Two thumbs up and then two thumbs down. Gives me rain. So weird. The guys did that last. Anyways, so yeah, where's I at with all this? Yeah, the video that I'm doing, basically talking about the community here, because I think it's about time that somebody like me, who's less established on this platform and well established musically, maybe not, in the thing over there in the zeitgeist, but personally or whatever, I'm established musically. I'm like where I'm at, to where I could just put things together the way that I like them, no matter what equipment I have, and throw it together real quick. What is good, my friend? Yeah, it was good seeing you in Symptoms of Reality yesterday, even though we butchered your song. I still couldn't hear myself, so I had to go back and listen to it to hear it. But yeah, welcome, my friend. But yeah, there's just so many profound things that have happened. Let me just go to full view real quick. I know you guys want to see this, and it's cool and all, but serious time. Just get the serious face on. There's just so many profound things that have happened in this community as of recent, even. But since I've been on here, for sure, since we've been up, the last 3.5 years, like, it's been a lot of stuff. Just this last year, as I'm going through the year in review, we started out this year with an MPC 3000 limited edition. On the 50th anniversary of hip hop, going through, we had it before, but, just still had it in the turn of the year, and that's how we started, and we did the raffle for it, and it's in Oakland now, and just everything that's been going on, EA Ski's moving since he's been out, and vocal about things, shout out to him. And yeah, just the way that things have been going, it's just so profound to have all these jams for somebody who passed away. And it's like I said, she got a proper send-off, and it was already after having a memorial when she passed. But that's the best that any of us get. Like, just think about it realistically. If you passed away, how would you want to be remembered or memorialized? How would you want people to take you passing? What would you want them to do more than anything? And somebody who jams with hardware, who's in the hardware jams community, who's been in this, space over here, developing relationships with people and just jamming on the hardware. God, just an outpour from the community, just one solid set after another, a total mix of genres, just the most beautiful music you could ever come up with, because these artists work so long and so hard on their jams, and there's so much emotion behind it, because it's real, it's life and death shit. And it was just such an emotional moment for most people. They all fucking killed it. Like, not to use that term, when I'm talking about life and death, but, Inky wouldn't put it any other way, and it's like I said, I didn't know her as well as, a lot of people in the community. I had no idea that she was as pivotal and important of a person as she was. Not that I was, taking that away from her or whatnot. I just wasn't a part of that community because I was unaware of it, doing my own thing on here and also being an American musician. But that's the beauty of YouTube. It connects us in this space, across the pond, and we develop these relationships. And, as I start thinking about our time here and moving forward, it's crazy because I've been supportive of a lot of these channels going through the whole time. Network, it's been years now, and it's funny because now Robbie and Kent are subscribed to my channel, and it's just weird because like I didn't support their channel for the sake of them being a part of my channel, but the way that music ties in to everything and the way that music people connect to each other, it doesn't matter who's doing what on this space. Those who are doing music or those who do music in a very real way will connect to one another no matter what. And it's just so great that, I mean, it's only been a couple weeks with Kent and them in the Symptoms of Reality podcast. And then, we had a moment yesterday and a pub and jamming, and that's on top of everything else that has already happened with the tardigrades and Ben Jordan, Venus Theory being the first a couple years ago to give us a affiliate link, and just being a good dude since we met him at NAMM. Not even on no business or professional. I mean, I didn't do any business at NAMM. I didn't play any instruments or anything like that. All I did was go meet the people that we've been hanging out with, in the space, and do the jam at NAMM. And that's exactly what we did. We rented out the hotel. We did the jam. We met a lot of people. We went out, and that's when I was, messing with Ab McCree before that NPC gate shit, and, all that. And it's like I said, those who do music, those who are real musicians, they'll connect no matter what. And it doesn't matter those who don't, because those who don't are not relevant to this world of ours, whether or not we exist within the same space. It doesn't mean that they're irrelevant as people or as channels, but when it comes to music, music is universally abstract. There's no box that you could put it in, no matter how many Spotify's or record labels or, YouTube channels or gatekeeping here and there, or people trying to suppress other people's music or their development just because they want to get on first, or just because they don't feel right about one person or the next. The people who make these judgments are the ones who fall behind, and the ones who don't are the ones who connect to one another. And it's just so profound to have these moments to where, our son directly, is communicating with some of our friends and some of the people within this zeitgeist. And, he grows up with me doing this, and then he grows up within the space, understanding these profound moments, and he was a part of the Symptoms of Reality podcast and showed up, twice, and played his Sampling the Cat that he only started doing because he got the idea from Get Jervis. I don't mean to go on this long, tangent or anything like that. It's just, I say that to say that I'm working on this video, and I've prioritized it up front because this weekend, especially with Simply Risky passing away, and, the 12-year anniversary of my father's passing, at 52, which is the age of most of our friends. And I think Inky was still 50. I don't think she was 53 yet. I'm not 100% sure. You guys will have to double check for sure. Just depends on when her birthday lands. But she was around the same age in that same time frame. So it hit a little bit harder, but all that just melted away yesterday. We had the hard conversation. We had the difficult conversation. And then we jammed our asses off afterwards. We joked around like crazy, and yeah, we made it happen. And prioritizing this video is because of the profound reality that is this space. It's because I'm holding my mic stand like this because I have it all the way cocked out. But yeah, there's nothing like this. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I mean, I would have never thought at any time, no matter how much support, that I would be jamming with Kent and Robbie. And we're not even friends like that. We're and if Kent didn't get involved, like, all of this is because of Inky passing. Like when people pass away and they imprint the piece of their soul on the people, and there's so many people that are involved, so many lives that have been touched, and the people connect the way that they do as a result of somebody passing. That's what's been happening here. Because, if it weren't for her passing, I probably wouldn't have got involved in hardware jams. Not the way that, I have, not as quickly as I have or whatever, but that was never my bag, until I started going out and performing. Sorry, I don't mean to neglect the chat here. So, okay. Everything pretty much, okay, gotcha. Oh, hold on. I got the right one over here. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I missed so much and it hasn't been on air. Yeah. Heading to shows. Yeah, that's a rough market in New York for sure. Okay, let's see. Make sure. Everybody hi. Told my kids to set up a DJ system. Partial studio at my funeral. Yeah, right. Live streaming is the key. Magic, instance, and gathering. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. I knew from the beginning, and when we started this channel, it was always live streaming. We never did any content before the Fantom review. So we just went live every Friday with the Fantom, and then after that, we went live every day for, I don't know, 100 days or so. I forget. I think it was 80 or something like that. But we live streamed every night, and it was just the communication. And yeah, from day one, Destructo was in the chat, and he and I have become real close friends, since then. And yeah, it's just been great. It's just been great with all the tragedy and bullshit, between people in this space, and the severed ties and all that. It doesn't matter. You shed your skin of the toxic people that don't belong in your life for a reason. And, just because you're unaware of the toxicity of a person, once that is exposed and it changes the dynamics, then you got to change along with it. And as much as it pains us to go through these whole things, when you're just starting out in the space on YouTube, it takes a while to get going and figure shit out, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, in this music space. I even said it yesterday on the Symptoms of Reality podcast. YouTube hates music, absolutely hates music. So if you don't have your own crew, you don't have your own, fan base that you're importing into the platform, YouTube's not going to push your videos, and they're going to force you to incrementally climb. They have the final say of where your videos go because they're the ones who dictate who it's being shown to. They gave me something like, congratulations, your short got 2,700 views on it compared to, your average, you got over 100 likes on it. It's like, yeah, that's because the algorithm put it out there, not because I did it. I mean, yes, I did it and I clipped it from a live and it went out there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter because it got out there in the people, but they try to make it seem like you have the ability to affect it with your content, but it doesn't matter how good your content is. If you don't fit their formula and where you want to go in their space, then they're not going to push your video. And they do not push music videos. And they do not push videos of channels who use other channels. So if you tag anybody else, and I've said this before, you tag anybody else who's a bigger channel, they'll suppress your video. But there's a flip side to that. Until you get a certain amount of likes or engagement overall. So if you get likes, if you get comments, then the algorithm will pick it up and start pushing it. Every single hardware jam that I've done since the beginning of doing hardware jams has been suppressed by the algorithm. But because the community is so strong, because it is such a tight-knit, loving group of supportive people, those people commented, they liked, they subscribed, and all that pushed the video. So a video that didn't get pushed ended up going over the algorithmic requirements to keep it going out there with the engagement. And unfortunately here in the U.S., where we live, the engagement just isn't there as much because we've all been swallowed up, chewed out, spit up, all this shit, by the music industry for the most part. And a lot of us on this platform as musicians are older, who have been through whole careers. I've had a whole career as an artist. I didn't fulfill that career because I'm not dead and I'm doing music for the rest of my life. And not only that, I'm at a point, not to make this whole thing about me, to where I'm better than I ever have been musically, which is how you should be when you grow and develop. It's just to a point to where everything that I've grown and developed throughout these years, I now am in a position to put it all into place and push it out there. I put out my beats. I have my stuff on the website, and it's all still on sale. You still got that free pack if you want to get it, but I don't push any of that shit because the people who support are meant to support, are going to support, and long-term, short-term, it doesn't matter. The time is right when the time is right. And regardless of finances, regardless on, what's right and what's wrong in the zeitgeist and how these companies work and, the universal demand and the way that things work in life, not that I have it all figured out or know everything here. It's just when it's time, and it'll happen. If it means, what you want and everything that you want, well, what exactly is that? For me, it's just living comfortably while I do music, while I create my art, and communicating, and being a part of this with people. And it's the passion of the art. Yeah. And I really have been thinking lately, especially with this whole Inky shit and all the wonderful music. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. All the great music that have come out of the 3 days of jamming. Whew. It just really puts things into perspective, especially with how many people were there the entire time, listening in, commenting, being a part of it. It shoots it over the top because our engagement is stronger than their algorithm. And our engagement pushes their algorithm and feeds their algorithm. So if there isn't a certain amount of engagement, yes, it's the algorithm that's suppressing it, but it's also the crowd. It's also the viewers. Not that I'm laying blame on the viewers, but what type of people watch your channel? Well, I'll tell you who watches this channel. Musicians, professionals. Type in viral beats in ChatGPT, and look what it says. I looked it up, and I was like, oh, cool. The AI knows us. You know, and there's a reason for that, you know, and it's all the videos that we've done. And, you know, it doesn't matter what we're trying to do, um, other than just communicating with the people out here. You know, I'm not trying to exist on this space to sell a product. You know, anything that I do sell is just a matter of circumstance for the people who want to support and listen to my music or take advantage of the things that I develop along the way sonically, you know, because I do have stuff to offer when it comes to that. But that's not the priority here. And I just thought about it, and if I were, or I guess this would be the question that I would pose to all of you guys too. If you were to pass away while you're in this hustle, while you're trying to exist, not only, maybe not within the space, maybe you do exist within the space and you're not trying to exist within the space other than communicating and, you know, checking out channels, fine. But like the music space, you know, you exist within the music space. What are your goals? What are you trying to get done here? Well, how do you want to be remembered? If anything were to happen to you, because tomorrow is not promised to anybody, you know, we know that for certain. You know, we were taught that lesson just recently, you know, and it's not just with the Inky Jams, it's with Simply Risky, you know, passing on the 5th, you know. And I went back and revisited the 24-hour live stream from Symptoms of Reality, and it's amazing the likes and the amount of views compared to how good that 24 hours was. But it's just because the numbers are where they are in the space. But yeah, Risky was there the whole time. So when I was looking back in that video, seeing him on the couch after knowing that, you know, and then the conversation being put into perspective, because that's when I first met these guys, really. Yeah, it's just really got me thinking about things. If something were to happen to you, how would you want to be remembered? Well, I would want to be remembered how Inky has been remembered. You know, I would want all my friends who do music within the same space, that are just doing it for the sake of making music within the space, to just party their asses off and jam in my honor. Not because of me in any like narcissistic, because it's a beautiful thing. You know, when you take all that emotion and you take all that drive and you take all that feeling and then you put it into a song, you know, that's when you know that you got something, when you have that power of the universe and the undeniable truth. Yeah. I would want it like that. I have never seen such a large outpouring after a person passing who wasn't a celebrity. She was a celebrity. She is a celebrity. And within this space, and rightfully so. I didn't know that when she was alive. I can't feel shitty about that because we didn't know each other like that. But what I've learned about her in her passing, she was an amazing person. And through her passing and us connecting to the people that were in her life, you know, on varying degrees, you know, some people knew her less than me. Most people knew her more than me. And those people jammed their asses off and did a fantastic job. And I'm still profoundly blown away by it. So they announced the all-in jam, which is get every piece of gear that you have available and jam with it. So yeah, we just so happen to be holding on to all this stuff for my mom for a little bit, and she's coming on Friday to get her Hydrasynth. Just enough time to use it in this jam. Just enough time to take advantage of playing the MPE on some of the VST synthesizers. You know, this isn't by accident. You know, and from where we're sitting financially, you know, can't afford any of this shit. You know, maybe a piece at a time here. You know, but as far as having a bunch of equipment, this isn't our bag. This is not us usually. Like, we do not hold on to equipment here. I'm what you guys I refer to as an equipment cycler. You know, I got into trouble one time, you know, buying gear and, you know, production equipment is a lot more expensive than, or recording equipment's a lot more expensive than production equipment, for sure. But yeah. Bring Mom Viral Beats Live. No way, she wouldn't do it. She don't even like me telling her business like this. I tell you, I said, yo, Mom, everybody thinks you're the coolest person. And everybody just like, yo, your mom's got all this, like this is hers. Let me take this out. Let me take myself off of here. And I'll tell you what else is. So this is hers, this is hers, this is hers, and this is hers. This whole chunk of all this belongs to my mom. She has a 1010 black box. She has that MiniFreak Stellar that I used of hers when we were in South Dakota. What else does she have? She has a MicroFreak. And what else? She just got the interface, so she's got some VSTs that she's loaded up on, but she's not concerned with those. But it's great. It's great. It's a lot. Take care, Thomas, for sure. Thanks for coming through. Yeah. Here, I'll say this because I just love this community, and this is another thing that kind of ties into what I'm saying here. So you guys know Dawson, right? He's the person who's created Myth and, you know, all these other great synths for traction and everything like that, you know. I'm in his Discord now, and I love Myth. He hit us up before the Cyclops came out and gave it to us a couple weeks ahead of time to have us demo it, and just gave us Myth afterwards. After going through all that trouble of trying to get it, and it's been elusive, and yeah, saved us some money getting it just because he likes the channel, you know, and you know, I gushed over a synth, you know, and he says, please support Dawson. Myth has been nominated for the Best Synth of 2024 award by Plugin Boutique. So, and this is one of the things here. They don't pay me. I guess technically it would be sponsored for me to say anything good about them because they gave me their plugin for free. But fuck all that. You know, I likes who I likes, you know, and it's not even about all that, you know. And Lunacy Audio, yes, they gave me some of their expansions or whatever, but I've paid for everything since then, you know. And I'll support them forever too. You know, I still got to get going on that whole thing, which I'll do with all this since I have it out. And Beam is being nominated for the best VST, you know, a different category or whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna vote for both of them, you know, because I think Beam is the best plugin that came out this year, and I think Myth is the best synth that came out this year. Name me a better one. Name me a better brand new plugin, or name me a better brand new synth that came out this year. Something better than Myth and something better than Beam. I'll wait. Put it down in the comments if you're watching the playback. I'm genuinely curious. I would like to know, because like everything that exists, I mean, Weaver was talking about how there's less innovation and, you know, plugins are dead and all this other stuff. I know it's a lot of it's tongue in cheek or whatever for the zeitgeist, but what else has come out that has been revolutionary? Oh, stop it with your thumbs up. can't even fold my arms without looking like a freak. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, good for him, for sure. Yeah, so anyways, not to go on this long tangent, but I got all the things dialed down that I need to, and now that I have this set to the tempo of the drum machine, that's all that I needed to do. That's all that I needed to do here, and because I got that, I'm probably going to go through a couple of them. Got a 5-minute jam to record. I'll probably end up doing it tonight. I'm going to get the other light out here so it looks all crazy or whatever. And then we're going to shed ourselves of some of this stuff, because the only thing we need is what we need. This Hydrasynth was just extra. The only reason why I was even considering a Hydrasynth was to just throw in some diversity in the outdoor jams. I don't need it for sound. The MPE and the polyphonic aftertouch are bonuses, so using it as a controller is definitely, useful. So hooray for that. Sorry for depriving you guys of sounds for so long. Over here just chatting it up. But yeah, this video that I'm prioritizing over everything is why I love this community so much, and showing every example of just the things that have happened this last week. But I'm going to use it to tie in every profound experience that has occurred since being on YouTube. It's going to take some time, but it'll be done before the year is over, which will be perfect because it'll throw in our recap of all the profound things that have happened here. And it doesn't matter that YouTube doesn't like music. We love music. And we love people who make music. And if the general population out there, especially the viewers of YouTube, aren't going to support us, it's up to us to support each other. So if you're not getting the support on your channel that you should be getting, then, maybe it's time to connect to some new people. Because since I've been on Hardware Jams, I didn't go there for subscribers. I could have monkey fucked this whole damn YouTube over here and done what it wanted me to do. You see my most popular video, that Akai conversation? I could have just done videos like that, just talking. Talk about music. When am I going to do music? If I have to spend all my time talking and editing, when is going to be my time to do music? I can't take that chunk out of doing music. And you know what? That shouldn't be the move for musicians anyway on here. And I know it's kind of tipped as far as the scales go in the algorithm, to where now there's more musicians starting to pop up that are actually doing music versus the talking, so it's starting to balance out a little bit, I notice. But there's still a lot of musicians who are struggling on this platform and not connected with the right group of people, just because it's so convoluted, flooded, and there's just so much to learn about developing a YouTube channel. It is rough. It is rough. Without thick skin and a lot of diversity in your diet, it's difficult to make it anywhere or do anything reasonable. But if the people who love music love your channel and love what you do, then there's no reason why those people can't express that love in a tangible way. And I'm not talking about financial support, although that is a part of it for, a lot of us in this space, and, we got to feed our families and everything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, these interactions that we have that are priceless, and just jamming with Pro Synth Network, like what? That's crazy. It's crazy. And it was good. It was really good, you know? And I love it, you know? And these moments, God, I even mentioned her yesterday during the podcast, Sarah Tuo, and all the positivity she radiates, you know? Solid musician, great person, you know? I don't know her like that. I just know her within this space, and she's the shining example of a successful YouTuber within the production space who's going about it the right way with, not not taking any of the shortcuts and just doing the music and keeping it to the music, and just grinding it out, and that's what we do over here. And like I said, if something were to happen to us, a lot of us on this space are older. We have health problems. We have, life happens. Law of averages dictate. We're going to lose people along the way. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want people to represent what you stood for? I would never, ever in my personal life as a musician be able to get all these musicians together to jam at my funeral. I mean, maybe I could get a few people or whatever, a handful like she had at her memorial or whatever, but like to have this vast pool of people that all knew her personally and were profoundly impacted by her life and actions, and they all put that emotion, that love, that sorrow, that pain into their music. Yeah. YouTube is shitty for musicians, but musicians together are not shitty with each other. We support one another. And I love all of the professionals, everybody who is subscribed to this channel, who makes their subscribers known, Sarah's one of them. Curtis King. People that we have enjoyed on this platform musically, most of them have been the greatest supporters of this channel, especially as of recent. And I'm just so profoundly impacted by that and the events that occurred as a result of Inky's passing that have brought us to this point, that brought us to Hardware Jams, that connected us with Symptoms of Reality, and got like all these people that we've known, that we've developed relationships. I mean, most of you guys here in the chat, we're going on some years now. We're going on years. To what capacity we know each other doesn't matter. We're going on years of knowing each other. And us content creators and musicians within this space are also going on years of knowing each other. I'm still on Ben Jordan's live streams every Thursday, mostly in the comments, but when I'm not, I'm still there, And he was the first YouTuber that I got involved with, even before I started with a channel of my own, and met him personally at NAMM and everything. And it's just, you develop these relationships and it starts building after all these years, and it just turns into this profound thing. And we need to tighten it up as musicians is what I'm saying. And my video is going to be heavily positive, and it's going to be very, very heavy emotionally. But the love, You know, I hear so much shit talk on here and so much crap within this space, and none of it even penetrates these guys. None of it affects anything that's going on with the real musicians who are out here jamming and putting in the work that needs to be done. So those who see it, those who love it, support it. Support it. Not to be all, you know, bullshitty about it or whatever, but like, subscribe, go to websites, check out, you know, music that they have to offer, you know. I have so much music, you know, even stuff that I only listen to in the moment that I just purchased for, you know, the sake of supporting. Never in a million years in any other space in my personal life or anybody else's personal life would they get as good as Inky got for a send-off. She was that important to a lot of people. And she just jammed her ass off and loved music and loved people who did the same. And you know what's crazy about it? Since being on Hardware Jams, like within the first couple weeks, every single Hardware Jammer subscribed to the channel just about. I didn't even do it for that. I did it because I like jamming. And I realized all my friends hang out in there. And a lot of them jam. I was like, oh, this is where you guys hang out. At this corner of the internet. Here for all the content. Word. I supported so many channels coming out the gate. But that's the thing about being a YouTuber who supports other channels. If you do content and you support other channels that do content, there's always this, you know, kind of thought process of, you know, whether or not that person's supporting to try to, you know, poach subscribers, which is, you know, one of the reasons why the suppression algorithms exist and then why YouTube hates it when you tag bigger channels. But again, if the engagement is up, who cares? So I know that my content has been low, but my Hardware Jams have been up. But I'm not here just to jam. I'm developing music, mixing and mastering. We got 2 albums that we're working on right now, and the Hip Hop Undead album's coming along. I want to show you guys something. While we're on the subject, I want to show you guys this, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. I met these guys through Symptoms of Reality, and, you know, on a certain level, you know, just subscribers. They're subscribed to this channel, subscribe to their channel, and just by a happenstance, oh, where are they? Does anybody know where you find your clips on your desktop on YouTube? Short subscriptions, okay, here we go. Is that it? Yep, your clips. Gotcha. I gotcha. So many of them. Jeez. Say hi. Say it to little Tussin. There you go. Say it to little Tussin. These dudes here, Symptoms of Reality, have mentioned these guys. Hold on, let me get it on the screen. Oh, hold on. Whoopsh. I gotta change the size of it too. Well, crap. Hold on one second. Let me get the screen going on here. I just want you guys to see this because this is exactly, this proves my point exactly, and these guys don't even know me like that. Like, they're subscribed to the channel, so I don't know how much of my content they've ingested. They do, like, improvisation jams. So, like, you know, hours of, oops, sorry. Hours of freestyle jamming. Okay. We ready? Just gotta make sure that you guys hear this all right. This is Real 1000 AM. It's just a group here. So let me get off of here and press play here.
While Trusto and Moser are making fun of Tracker and calling them. The beats go viral, viral beats equals the title. While Trusto and Moser are making fun of Tracker and calling him a slacker. The beats go viral, viral beats equals the title. Yo, and you don't want nothing, you're gonna have to say that shit straight to little Tussin. The beats go viral, viral beats equals the title.
That was just me being in the chat. And it was today. It was today in between. I was talking to them guys. I had a long conversation with them. They're just like, hey, we're just going to jam out and talk talk about our people, you know? And we've been in so many conversations here since being on YouTube. Yeah, shout out to them. I'm going to sample that. I told them I'm going to sample that. Because it was really good drums and, like, natural musicians. They're in Indiana, too, you know, over in Notre Dame, you know. So it's like the stuff like this has been happening to this channel since the beginning of it, you know. Since Destructo popped up with his masked face. You know, we've just been doing our thing, and through this learning process on YouTube, I'm not saying that I've learned it all over here, but I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out finally. And it's just, it's kind of goes along with the way that I've been conducting my business here. It's all about the music. Fuck all the rest of it, you know? And you could tell through my content and my live streams that I love it, you know, and I gush over it. You hear me laughing and goofing off and all this other stuff, you know? When it's time to get serious, I put in that work. And the algorithm will suppress it, but I'll still do it, you know? This weekend just made me realize how much love there is out here in this space and how much stronger it is than all the noise. and emotion. Music. Welcome. So yeah, I'll get back to my little jam here, folks. But I am prioritizing that video over everything because, seriously, I love this space. I love you guys. And if anything were to happen to me, I would hope that you guys would get together and jam your asses off and just keep it at that. Let's go. Oh, I didn't turn off the subharmonicon. Ah, well. Valley. 966. Yeah, I recognize you. How you doing? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you see people in this zeitgeist, you know, then all of a sudden you're like, hey, we're going on years here, folks. Love my Moog sub 35, sub 25. My bad. And the grandma. Looks like I need to rework my other patch over here in the Explorer. Why does it make my voice sound like that? Down too low. Whew. Well, it looks like I gotta rework it. Big effing deal. Ah, well, at least I got my patches correct. So the trick here is going to be getting things within the space to where I could do what I just did at some degree. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And doing it quickly so the transitions are smooth. That's what I was just doing, kind of practicing that for a moment. Pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't mean to spend this stream chatting your guys' ears off, but it's been a pretty emotional weekend, especially with the 7th being Pops' 12-year anniversary. I wouldn't say anniversary, but it's been 12 years, since I lost my father, and it was a dramatic exit, traumatic exit, I should say. So, and just with, losing some of our friends and the way that things have been going ever since, and the energy in the room, it's just kind of one of those things, and you notice after a while that, what are we doing on this space as musicians? I know here in America, there's some problems to be worked out, but across the pond, it's kind of like how it was in the 70s, You couldn't break through the American music market, so you'd go to the UK and establish out there, and they're so supportive, turn you into a big star. Then America will fuck with you. You come back home, like, oh, you're a big deal now. Well, here's this deal. Well, I already got a deal for my place up here. I'll perform. That's I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is. It's the way that we've grown up to be so inconsiderate and passive of music. It used to be an important thing, and, now it's only an important thing to a certain group of people. And, the people who are willing to even step into the space to begin with, as musicians, no matter what level they're at, should be celebrated just for that fact, regardless on if they're just starting out, don't have any equipment or whatever, Like I said, half of this crap here ain't even mine. And guess what? I'm getting rid of it, and it's going towards its rightful owner. The same way that we got rid of the Fantom, the same way we got rid of the MPC 3000 limited edition, the same way that I've gotten rid of everything that I've ever used to make music. I do not keep shit. I don't get gas over things. There's stuff that I need for specific tools for the job that I need. There's stuff that I want that would be better to make the music with or whatever. But when it comes down to it, I cycle so I don't get caught up, so I don't end up spending too much money, so I don't have to take a second mortgage out. Not that I even have a first one. And so I could afford to get albums pressed or whatever the hell, I wouldn't be in, just the emotional element, if I'm emotional about something that happens, it usually translates through music. So, I'm not going to get emotional about my tools, which is another reason why we got rid of the Fantom, I'm not going to sit there and begrudgingly produce and then have to, do all these extra tricks just to get the product that I really wanted, out of it. And it's just like, yeah, it's the way that it goes. And I'm not going to kiss any company's ass to try to get any kind of benefit from it. It's just one of these things. And that's another thing too. I'm a musician, and I was a musician by trade for a little bit, for a while. And it's something that I'm getting back into as a performing artist. And I didn't think I would do on this platform. I thought I'd just produce my way into the sunset. And then Craxon hit me with that drill, and I'm like, I don't even do drill music. Unzip it, I put it on a table, zip it, just right away. That's how it is in business. I have friends who are outside the U.S. Yeah. And that's the problem with it. Our country is heavily problematic when it comes to this kind of shit. When it comes to music. YouTube doesn't like music and doesn't respect musicians because America doesn't respect music or musicians. We're a heavily, if not the most heavily marginalized group, to where it seems like everybody in this country is getting their stuff taken care of, and they're getting acknowledgement and getting things worked out, except for the music part of it. It's because the labels want to stick with the streaming bullshit, even though the streaming services, has not been economically viable, and they're not ever going to be, because that's not the way that music's meant to be. But that's how it is when you got gatekeeping industry, corporate dicks that are just blitz scaling from one business to the next, just getting investors and all that other crap and taking it out of their people. That's why you will never find viral beats on Spotify or any other streaming platform, because we got rid of our DistroKid. We had DistroKid and our 5 albums. And once it got to that last album, I realized what a waste of money it was and how little the thing was, and I didn't want to be a part of the problem anymore. I want to be a part of the solution. Part of the solution is not making these platforms big by putting the little guy on the platform, and yeah, screw them. They're all just a bunch of crooks anyway, and that's the thing about it. You want to make it in music, what's making it to you? When's making it? What's your idea of success as a musician? If you don't have these questions answered at the beginning, you're going to have some struggles, and there's always struggles as a musician, and I am the epitome of a struggling artist. I've never been big or major or anything out there, but I've been comfortable in a lot of my life, no matter how uncomfortable I've been in a lot of my life as well. I'm a perfectly balanced Libra. Anyways, not to get on my soapbox and talk some more, because it's all about the music. Less chat, more splat. So I'm going to record this hardware jam. Let me give you guys a last look at it real quick. It's not the last look of the Hydrasynth, but the last look of me having things set up this way. Let me just get things going down here real quick so you guys can see. Like I said, I have the Labyrinth clocked in to the subharmonicon, which is hooked into the Spectravox. The Hydrasynth Explorer is also hooked into the Spectravox. I guess I got to keep it still for it to show. Okay. There you go. I'm bad. So yeah, this will be it for the hardware jam. I had other stuff like the stylophone, like guitars, and all this other stuff that I was going to bring out and use for it. You know, it's not like I have a whole bunch of other stuff or whatever, but like it's hard to put your hands like with only two hands, even to just do this whole thing. And I was lucky enough to have the chords and availability to tie all these together, because like this is the most crap I've had together in a long time. And since we're getting ready to shed our skin of it and take it to its rightful owner and go back to our normal over here, you know, we're just playing the last time here. But yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Took that out too. All right, so that's it here, folks. My bad on missing the stream yesterday. It's like I said, the reason why we missed the stream yesterday, because we were on the Symptoms of Reality podcast. If you guys didn't see that, check it out. I have it posted in the community tab. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to this channel. And we're going to keep going with it. So we got the hardware jam that's due tomorrow. It's going to be all this here. Oh, Andy, all the streams that I miss of you, here you are. Synchrotron. I'm not really. He said, I'm not really here. What's up, Andy? Yeah, Andy's an example. He's a shining example, you know? It's like, it's funny. I was saying earlier in the stream here, Andy, that, you know, we spend enough time on this platform as musicians. Eventually, we all connect with one another, and, you know, it turns into years of knowing each other. And that's what it's becoming on here, because, you know, we've been on this platform and, you know, active here. You know, we're in our 4th year here. So it's like some of the people that we have known and supported for a long time, yourself included as one of them. Yeah, it was just a really profound moment yesterday to be able to jam with Kent and Robbie, you know, after all these years. And it was just by happenstance, like we didn't plan it or anything like that. And it was great. And so we got the hardware jam. And I'm gonna put together the jam, and then we got Monday, and guess what I got coming in for tomorrow? I got me a Kent Spong T-shirt coming in. So I have some content about that because Gethsemane, I can't say his freaking name. Is it Gethsemane? I don't know. Anyways, he did a video on his Pro Synth shirt, and I'm going to do one on mine. I didn't get the Hog Rider one. I got the other one. The one that's already on there. And it's going to be great. I didn't even know it had a back to it until after I ordered it. I'm like, oh, it has a back to it. That means it's business in the back, huh? You know? And it's funny because I picked the Kent Spong shirt not only because the caricature, which is our friend, but because he was the one who showed up to Symptoms of Reality on the podcast, became active right away, and then brought everybody who wasn't in there beforehand. So Robbie showed up. Like, it's blown up to where, like, the community, you know, since Samurai's in there now, and, you know, just so many different people within our group, it's turning into like a hub for all of us to meet, as we do on each other's channels quite a bit, you know. And yeah, I didn't mean to be absent from yesterday. I wanted to stream afterwards, but god damn, that we had to go to the grocery store afterwards. That was the real reason why I didn't do it. But that jam though was just so great. you know, and it was just such a minor jam, but such a major impact. And it was just great to play with these guys that, God, I've known for years now. It's like Andy over here in the chat. You know, it's funny because like when I first started calling you Andy, like I didn't feel comfortable at it. I was like we don't really know each other like that, but everybody else is calling you Andy, and you prefer to be referred to as Andy. And then like just thinking back, like it's like 3 years ago. So I had to leave before that jam. Oh yeah. Did you watch the playback? Yeah, it was great. It was really great, and I was able to finally get it to where I could hear myself, and I answered it. Whatever, worm. I showed my wife. I think it was my wife. Who did I show that picture to? Was it you, wife? Are you still in there? I'll ask her.
What picture?
The picture of Andy next to the gnome.
No, you didn't show it.
Oh, I didn't show it to her. When they had your picture up, I was over here, and I forgot what chat you were in, but they pulled up your picture. I think it was Symptoms of Reality. I'm not 100% sure. But they pulled up your picture of you right next to the right next to the gnome. And I'm like, oh my god. Chat posted a timestamp link in the Discord. Oh, awesome. Yeah, pretty amazing. Yeah, man. For those who don't know about Synchrotron here, you know, he is one of our friends across the pond, and I dare to say it, you know, one of the most active, you know. I mean, not only do I see you everywhere, but God, man, his spaghetti noodling is like none other. But I'm glad you picked up that guitar for the jam. You know, it's funny that we were just mentioning that beforehand, and then when I saw the thing with your guitar in there, I was like, oh shit, he did it. And then I listened to you play it, and I was like, oh man. Why you ain't like your guitars, man? Do you try to get around a bit? Yeah, you certainly do. So yeah, for those who don't know, Synchrotron over here, Andy, subscribe to his channel, because he's got quite the situation going on over there. How long you been on YouTube for? You've been on for a minute, right? I don't know. It's just funny because, like, you guys, and I say you guys as in everybody across the pond over there. All the non-American blokes over there will say, you know, and I've been saying a lot of English terms lately, and I am English by blood, by the way. You know, my well, I could be Scottish, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I think it's English. But yeah, the amount of support and love that you guys give each other and give us over here in the States is something that we don't get here in the States from our own community. And it's crazy how much more love and support there is from not only the UK, but the people here in the States who are involved with people in the UK. And like, we're not even trying to like we're not just becoming friends with you guys. I'm sure you guys know by now, because like we've been on your channels for so long, and you know, so there's no thought or anything. Plus that stinking thinking usually doesn't exist with people like us. But yeah, you know, it's been years now, and you know, I was saying to the chat here earlier and the viewers out here that if anything were to happen to me during this time of being on this platform, doing the things that we do here at the capacity that we do them, I would want to be remembered in a way that the way that Inky was remembered, and everybody really turned out for her, and for somebody that I hardly knew like that. I had no idea that she was such an important person. You know, it really has opened up my eyes to being more considerate of people in their positions in life, and their existence and what they mean to other people. So I've been trying to keep it close and stay supportive, and just exist out here. And it's because of her passing that I jumped on hardware jams, and even then, it took me a few weeks before I actually did a hardware jam. But now that I'm involved in it and I'm doing them every week, I get it. I get it, and this is why there's such a lack of support here in the States, because there's a lack of people here who do music at this capacity, and just the diversity in sound, the level of professionalism, the sonics, the genres. It was just so fucking fantastic and so brilliant that one person could be remembered and represented in such a way. And the experience is just as profound as her passing. And if anything were to happen, I would want the same thing. And, usually if you're not in a space like this to where you can exist on that level locally, I just realized how much YouTube is really the place for musicians. The answer here isn't fighting the system and going against the grain, other than, just doing our own thing musically. The answer is kind of what we've been doing here, keeping it all about the music, keeping it all about the love for the music, and the love for making the music, and the love for those who make the music. We've been very supportive of a lot of channels, and we've been even more supportive of more since Inky's passing. And yeah, it just makes me wish I would have taken more time to say hi, and that's what I'm doing with you guys, because the last opportunity I had to say hi to her, I didn't. But I said hi to Andy, and I was like, oh, I'll get her next time, And next time is never promised for anybody, He was amazing. She encouraged me and helped me to do my first hardware jam. Yeah, see? And that's the thing. That's the thing about it. God, it keeps hitting me with the thumbs up here. Let me just get over here again. Sorry, guys. Shit's real out here. And we just experienced trauma. And we just relived all that trauma and, gave birth to a whole new community. That's what her passing did. It has given birth to an entire expanded community of jammers. I couldn't believe how many people jumped on when I did, and it was their first time, right before, right after, or right during. It was like, holy shit. Yeah. When people make that profound impact, it is felt. And those impressions, those imprints from their energy when they leave, yeah, they were all just given right back to the music. Now everything is in its place. I've been to a lot of funerals. I watched my dad pass, and I told you guys the story about that. I told you guys the story about that on Symptoms of Reality as well. But even before then, like, I've had friends, like, I grew up in the 90s gangbanging in an urban environment, you know what I mean? There was a lot of death around, that time period. I have never, and I've seen some pretty abstract, gaudy funerals, especially with Catholics. Jesus. Catholics in their funerals. God. I have never seen somebody who passed away be represented so well. I have never seen so many people express so much love for one person and have it all translated musically. I've been, a musician my whole life, I've been taking it seriously since I was a teenager and doing it professionally since I was an adult, and able to quit my job when I was 26. I've never seen anything like it. And without YouTube, it wouldn't have been able to happen. Yes, people get together locally, but this is really the place for people like us who are on the spectrum and doing music with our crazy and being even more crazy. Yeah, I'm just at awe and profoundly impacted, even more so than Inky's passing, by the reflection of her impact. I didn't do a jam because, one, I didn't learn about it until, it was too late to do anything meaningful. But I also didn't have the type of relationship with her to where I felt like it was my place to even do a jam. I had the type of relationship with her to where it's time for me to participate in hardware jams, and that's what I've been doing. It's not that I'm owed or feel that I exist within the space. I just don't feel it's my place to exist at a level that you guys have, because you guys were so profoundly impacted by her life. And I really felt that immediately, and yeah, it still chokes me up from the first jam from the Inky jams, right away. Yeah, it was, my dad's death anniversary and all that other stuff, but like, no, it's just, it was the perfect music at the perfect time, at the perfect place, representing it perfectly. And it was all weekend long, a whole bunch of people, all the love in the chat. I wasn't able to participate in the chat, all the time, and missed a huge chunk of yesterday because of the Symptoms of Reality thing. But that only happened because of Inky. Symptoms of Reality started doing hardware jams because of her, and, everything happened the way that it did as a result. And I got on hardware jams because of her, not because she convinced me to do it, but in her passing, as I just said. But through doing that, met Symptoms of Reality and everybody else who participates. And like everybody else, I click the link and I comment and like on every single video. Every single one of them. Because I love this shit. I'm a musician through and through. You know, I come from a long family history of musicians as well, you know, and it's in my blood, and I exist within this space to represent, you know, to the highest degree, everything that I know, everything that I'm capable of, all the love that I have for music, all the love that I have for the community, all the love that I have for you guys and doing what you guys do. And I'm just super appreciative. I just really am grateful, you know, and I'm extremely grateful for having the short-term in passing 2.5, 3 years, you know, or 4 years. Yeah, it was just under 4 years. And knowing Inky, you know, she subscribed early on because of the Fantom. Not really heavily active or anything like that. I commented, you know, we've had, you know, communication, but not any direct or personal communication like with our friends and everything. But yeah, it's up to us to do our part, and I wouldn't want to be represented any different. And I never have seen anything like it in anybody passing, whether it be no matter what demographic it is. I have never seen somebody's passing be so impactful, especially musically. And it was the greatest shit to experience all these jams this weekend, even though I couldn't stay on the entire time. You know, I got to get the playback, you know, and they're on there forever, memorialized for as long as the platform exists. And we're all still here, you know, some of us. And yeah, rest in peace to Simply Risky too. Seeing him today, you know, on the video, watching the playback was emotional. You know, I didn't know him like that either, but, you know, faced with the name and all that, you know, and just realizing, you know, what has happened and how things have gone. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially for us social misfits who are on the spectrum. There's got to be a way to disable that. They don't just put those in there. I don't know. OBS just updated, so hopefully when I turn this off and turn it back on, they'll have an update to where I could take off the gestures, because I don't need you guys' likes. I need you guys' love. But I'm all good. If you guys are just lurkers, welcome lurkers, everything. We got an agenda. Hardware Jam. Kent Spong t-shirt content, which may or may not play on the Pro Synth Network, will be active in Symptoms of Reality whenever they're on. We haven't missed a day since we've known each other, so we'll be in the zeitgeist here, folks. Leave a like on your way out, you know, subscribe, all that if you're not, and yeah, do what you can to support the channel and other people's music. You know, I got a lot on the website. We got 5 albums that we made here on the channel. We have a bundle that has all 5 albums together, and that bundle is on sale right now for $5, so that makes $1 per album, and I think I'm just going to run that until the end of the year. And there's also the free preset pack for the Cherry Audio Mercury 6 as well. So do what you got to do, support the channel, do what you can, and yeah, we'll be in the space, and hopefully get our hardware jam out before Synth Addict. I think I knew Inky less than a year. It's difficult not to be told. Yeah. For real. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, take care. Take care, Andy. Take care, Anna. And special shout out, too, to all the channel members over here. Chicano, a.k.a. Champ Flexington, a.k.a. Sir Champ, a.k.a. 1-1, I know we don't see you. You know, I know you're, you know, still out there because you're still active and supporting the channel and everything, but it'd be nice to see you show up in the chat. You know, I hope you're doing okay. you know, but it's good to see that you're still here. And, you know, and Carbon Vibes, yeah, we know we met through the Av McCree days, and yeah, appreciate you for real. And Davey the Hug Monster, yeah, geez, since we met, you've been out here supportive of not only myself. You know, I forgot the significance of the green badge, but it's almost a yellow badge, and a yellow badge is over a year. But I know that you weren't a member the whole time. But yeah, you know, I appreciate you, Davey, for sure. Who else we got? Who else we got up in the space as a channel? Oh, Kriax. Kriax. So Kriax is from Sweden, right? And he's got he does this production, and you know, for those who don't know, you know, my career as a musician has been largely as an MC, as a rapper, you know, and I was just producing and doing beats. I wasn't even thinking about rapping, and then he did this drill beat, and I don't even like that genre. I was like, oh man, this sounds good, and I started rapping over it, and I was like, oh man. So he gave me the beat, and I did it up, and you know, it is the thing that got me into rapping again, and is the reason why we're doing this Hip Hop Undead album. So shout out to Kriaxa, who has a yellow badge, who's been supporting this channel for over a year. Same as Chicano, aka Champ Flexington. Same with 1-1. You know, yeah, I appreciate you guys for sure. And just make sure here. I want to make sure that I get everybody. Did I get everybody? Let's see. Let me make sure. Because there's 6. We have 6 members here. E-Dub. How could I forget about E-Dub? I didn't forget about you, E-Dub. I'm just looking at the thing. Yeah, that's it. Chicano, Kriax, E-Dub, 1-1, Carbon Vibes, and Davey the Hug Monster are 6 channel members. So, yeah, it's fun times over here for sure. And yeah, I appreciate you guys and your support all these years. And I just love the fact that for most of you guys out here that we've been communicating with, you know, Andy, Synchrotron, you know, Davey, E-Dub, you know, we met through Sarah Tuell's channel. You know, it's been years now. We're developing solid relationships as people. And that has never been more clear to me than after this weekend, seeing and listening to all these wonderful jams. God, what a soul, what a spirit. To have the type of impact to affect an entire community, to collectively all come together and just make the best music ever heard by man, Homo sapien. I say man loosely, woman too. So diverse, such a great community. I fucking love you guys. I'm serious about that shit. I say that in front of my wife over here. She knows. She's good. But yeah. Rest in peace to Inky. Inky the cat. Nobody has ever received more flowers. Ever. I've never seen it. It's great. It's great. Now, as far as Simply Risky goes, I'm not in a position to represent him like that, but with what he was doing and his plans on moving over, you know, we are making those considerations and taking those steps immediately. And that's what it's going to be. What a fucking weekend. That's why we didn't stream on Saturday, folks. God damn. With all this pain and sorrow comes this joy and exuberant, like solid, profound music. And get to jam with our friends. Ain't nothing like it. So if you're listening out there and you're reluctant to step into the space as a musician, just know that there's a solid community out here of support and love and just people who give a shit about music and nothing else. But the people who love music the way that we do, and we all respect one another for the way that we love music and how we all connect that way, there's no other place for us, especially in America, you know? But I mean, this is it. I truly believe that the future of music on YouTube is jamming. There's been so much more jamming these past couple of years than there has been the previous years before then. Yeah. And even if it's not the space or the direction that YouTube goes, it's the space that I want to be in. So I'm going to stay here in the space with you guys. I love you guys. And I hope you guys express your love and support and consideration for the people that you guys enjoy listening to and watching out there, because I do. I do. That's why I got an EA Ski membership the day he started. Even though I don't do memberships, then that's why I have a Pro Synth Network membership, because I really support these guys. And that's why I've taken the time and supported all the people that I have over the years here on this platform, because I exist for this reason, for love and the love of music. And I'm here to exist within this space and do exactly that. Love music and love the people who do music. Love you guys. Take care, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.